Yevgeny Prigozhin said after a failed attempt of rebellion, until July 1st, all Wagner groups had to be signed contracts with the Russian Ministry of Defense, which categorically did not suit the head of a private military company. A day after Prigozhin announced that the march on Moscow was over, Putin promised that the militants would be able to become part of the regular Russian army, but they are in no hurry to sign contracts with the Ministry of Defense.
If the Wagner troops wanted to sign a contract with the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, they would probably have signed them long ago. But both mercenary professional killers and criminals signed contracts not with the Ministry of Defense, but with Wagner, with Prigozhin. Apparently, the latter offered such terms of the contract that were more suitable for them.
Some of the mercenaries could follow Prigozhin to Belarus. True, the Belarusians have not yet seen them there, unlike the construction of a new field camp in the Mogilev region. The monitor group Belarusian Gayun reported, if the Wagner troops do come to the Republic, Lukashenko will try to use them, experts say.
He perfectly understands that he still retains power by force, and his strength is also not unlimited. In my opinion, the capabilities of the Belarusian security forces, those who are subordinate to Lukashenko, are much less than the capabilities of the security forces in Russia. Therefore, Lukashenko wants to have such a small army of mercenaries for himself.
What will happen after the disbandment of Wagner PMC with those mercenaries who are outside Russia and the territories of Ukraine temporarily occupied by it is still unclear. After all, Wagner troops are actively involved in many countries: Libya, Sudan, Mali, Central African Republic, Mozambique, Burkina Faso, Madagascar and Venezuela. At the same time, many mercenaries are accused of crimes there, committed against civilians. If Russia stops supporting the militants, the number of these crimes will increase.
Mercenaries in Africa, especially in the Central African Republic, Libya, Sudan and Mali, will be left without monetary allowance, as well as political and military support. That is, in fact, they will remain without work and will begin to look for employment in their line of work, which can pose a serious threat to countries burdened by instability, civil wars and rebellions. From the publication of the BBC Russia, citing an anonymous UN diplomatic source.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the Kremlin announced to the authorities in Syria, the Central African Republic and Mali that it had taken control of the mercenaries who were on the territory of these countries. There are about 6,000 PMC militants outside Russia and the Ukrainian territories temporarily occupied by the Russian army. The Wall Street Journal reports Moscow will probably try to use their presence abroad to increase its influence there. Reported by Roman Smoler, Valeria Nikipelova, UATV News.